Keith, you ready? Alright, take this. You're running the show today, okay? Hello and welcome back. This is Tesla DIY. My name is Perry. Today I have a special mod for my Tesla Model 3. This is a ring light plus turn signal sequential. They call it fishbone, or I like to call it the newer style Lamborghini tail lights. So this one is to replace the factory reflectors. The factory reflector does not light up, it's just a reflector. So we're gonna replace these two with turn signal and also ring light, like a third brake light that blinks really fast when you hit the brake. It'll blink, 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 and then just stay solid. So I had already installed one side just so I know what I'm explaining, and I have already learned some stuff that you want to do and some stuff that you probably don't want to do. So first thing first, I'll open my trunk and we're gonna remove the tail light. If you come closer, turn it with my hand. I think some people 3D print a wrench to help unscrew it, but I'm pretty sure you can do it just by your hand. So it's a threaded big nut. And then, if you come around here to the back side, push these liner out of the way, and there is 8mm bolt, two of them. You just loosen them up, and then there's one on top. Just break it loose, just enough that you can use your hand. And then I'm gonna hand my camera back to my assistant for today. Been convincing this guy to help me for a while now, and finally he says okay. So two of these 8mm. With those unscrewed, there's two pins on the outer side, but you can just pop them right off like that. And I'm gonna undo the harness right now, like that. So I'm gonna put the tail light on the side for now. So these are the two pins on the outer side. They just kind of pull right off. 10mm to get to this bolt that's holding the top of the rear bumper. And I do have to say that this job is a lot easier if you remove the rear bumper, but removing the rear bumper itself, it's a lot of work as well. So I'm choosing to not remove the rear bumper. So the cost is that I have to have my tiny hands, and I'm gonna be scratching up my hand a little bit with my baby-like skin. Pop this. There's a couple clips. Actually, before we do this, I'm gonna grab the harness that came with the kit. So this is basically splitting the signal and power. So you want to grab the connector, the OEM connector that used to go on to the tail light. We're gonna put that connector into this set of harness instead. There's only one direction, you can't really mess up. So there you go. And also this will go back right into the tail light. And this is probably going to be the hardest part of the install, which is to run the wire to the back of the bumper and out to the indicator. What I wish they have done was to make this section longer, because at first when I did that side, I put this in first and I was trying to grab the wire and pull it, but it was too short that I can't pull it up high enough to make the connection. So what I end up doing is pop these back out and shove my hand all the way in and until I reach the back of the bumper here, and then stick these two through a little rectangle hole and then pull the wire out from the side to plug it in. Had these been longer, I would have just grabbed it, pull it out, and connect it straight from the top, which would have been a lot easier, I think. But that's the cost for not removing the bumper. I don't have the proper prying tool, but I'm gonna try my best to just pop the OEM indicator out. Okay, so finally got the OEM one out. So these are the clips that I was telling you about, and then the harness goes through this little hole. You have to feed one of them at a time because both connectors can't go through together. So you're gonna push one through and push the other one through. But before we push it through, we have to, like I said, this is too short. So we're gonna run this wire from the top. I unscrew this bolt just so I can get a little bit more room and clip the bumper here. Okay, now I have a little bit more room to work with. So straight down, you can see. So it was at this point where my mic stopped working because my receiver got turned off. Anyways, so once you loop the wire out from the bottom, you're gonna go ahead and connect the two connectors. The blue and yellow is the turn signal, and then the red and black is basically power as well as for the brake light. So after you connect both connectors, you want to shove the connectors in one at a time, and then you want to pull from the top so all the extra wiring gets pulled inside. That way you can secure the reflector turn signal and clip it in. So after that, you basically just reverse the whole removal taillight process, but you do want to make sure you run the wire behind the bumper and all tucked away nicely. You could probably zip tie them together nicely. I just shoved everything in behind the bumper. No one's ever gonna see it, and it's pretty secure behind the bumper. So, and then you just connect the remainder connector back onto the taillight and bolt everything back, and you should be good to go. And then for the right hand side, I am gonna include a video anyways. It will be sped up because it's pretty much the same process. Alright, so that was the end of the installation. It was not too difficult. Besides the part of running the wire, it's a little bit painful. That's if you don't want to remove your rear bumper. If you choose to do it my way and don't mind a little scratch on your hand, you could definitely give that a try. Before I end the video with some actual footage of the light working, as well as some night footage, I want to show you a phone mount that I've been using for a while now. This company called Jowua, was kind enough to send me a care package with 2 phone mounts and a charging pad. This one I have in my Model 3. They call this 480-degree foldable phone mount. It's 2-hand operation because you do have to put your phone with one hand and then crimp it down with another hand. And then when you release the phone, you press this, and then you want to second hand to catch your phone so it doesn't fall. Yeah, this one doesn't turn, doesn't rotate. It just folds away. It does extend, I guess. It's taped on to the back side. The presentation of the packages is really nice, and it has a template for you to mount it to the corner so you don't mess up the orientation or the angle whatsoever. And then I have another phone mount and the charging pad in my Model Y, so we'll take a look at that. So here's my Model Y, and by the way, I have a new mod, I guess, if you consider a mod. So here inside my Model Y, I have once again a Jowua phone mount, which this one doesn't fold away, but this one does tilt and pivot this way. Maybe this is the 480. That one was a 360, or maybe this is a 360. I forgot. But this one, the arm itself can rotate, as well as the phone mount itself also rotates. The phone mounts I have in a wood elegant looking style, and then the charging pad also from Jowua. It's a carbon fiber finish. I actually like this charging pad a lot because with my bulky phone with the Octabox, the OEM charging pad wouldn't charge my phone, but for this phone or this charging pad, it does charge my phone, and as well I can put it sideways so I can watch video or whatever while I'm charging, where the OEM one doesn't allow that because it's got a little divider all the way across the center. And also the main feature of this charging pad is that it has the built-in micro SD card for your Sentry video. My Model Y has the factory USB that came with the car. I think the later Model 3 as well. But if your Model 3 or Model Y is the earlier generation, which doesn't have the factory USB, and you don't want to take up a extra USB port on the back of the center console, then this might be the charging pad that you might be interested in. So I'll leave a link to their product in the description. But thanks again, Jowua, for sending me these phone mounts and the chargers. But enough of the phone mounts. I will now show you the finished product. Alright, so I'm talking to you from inside the car now. This is after the light had already been installed, and I just want to show you how everything functions, because from my understanding and my research and talking to a lot of people, I believe that this turn signal indicator is not made for US spec vehicles, and I'm going to show you why. But basically, US spec has the turn signal and brake light all wired together, and I believe we have 4 wires. And the Asia spec Model 3, Model Y, they have a separate wire for the turn signal itself. Long story short, that makes the US spec not capable with this indicator. But so first, air down, gotta look good. So this is me stepping on the brake. So you'll see that the brake light, technically it's supposed to blink like a ring light, blink really flat. It'll blink really fast and then stays solid on. But in my case, it goes through one cycle as if it was a turn signal, and then stays off. And then this is my turn signal. Turn signal works perfectly fine. And I'm gonna throw in a couple clip where I unplug the turn signal wire, which is the blue and yellow. And as soon as I unplug that, the brake will work just as it should. It'll blink and then stays on. So now, knowing the product, it's not functioning 100% for our US spec Model 3 and Model Y. You can still run them. You could either do what I'm doing right now, which is plugging in both of the connectors. You're only gonna get the turn signal, the function, which still looks really cool, like the Audi style. But when you hit the brake, it's just kind of doesn't work really. So if you're okay with that, you could run it with this setup. If you don't care for the turn signal, what you could do is unplug the turn signal, so that way when you step on the brake, you get that ring light effect, which again I'm going to show you right now. And also when your parking light is on, it stays on, so that's pretty cool. I just want to quickly do a recap of how it works. That way you guys don't think that it functions one way where it doesn't. You might have seen videos that are from the Chinese market. They present the light functioning the way it should, but for us, US spec, it unfortunately don't function the same. So you just have to either have your turn signal working or you have your brake light working. You can't have both functioning at the same time. So, and also, if you missed my previous video on my custom carbon fiber steering wheel install, I mentioned that I am doing a giveaway. If you want to see how you can participate, go check out that video. It is a Tesla ring, key ring, that I'm giving away on behalf of Pimp My EV. So go ahead and check that out. And also thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.